The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for gaming news, covers all your gaming content needs with a ton of game reviews, interviews, walkthroughs, and guides. Check out their featured interview previewing, I like this one, new Marvel's Avengers game. Cannot wait for this. I am a nerd. Guys over at Shack News got a sneak peek of the beta version of this game. It's coming out next week. They break it down. They're played as Hulk, Thor, other Avengers. Super, super cool. We haven't had a good Avengers game in a very, very long time. Also, go check out their streams on Twitch. Asif and Blake are hilarious, streaming gaming content consistently throughout the week, super laid back. So if you're a gamer, you like video games, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle at Shack News. And most importantly, shacknews.com. It's not Monday, but let's kick this show off.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kitzer from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Free Shakalaka. Reflog. It's just golfer backwards. Boom Shakalaka.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is not Monday, August 10th. It's August 11th, right after the workday, right before some tribe action. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil. Take two. How are you, sir?
Afternoon drive edition here, Dave, huh? Something special, something a little different.
Yeah, we're prime time. We're like Bull and Fox.
Time. That's right.
And the always lovely, super talented Gab Cruz. What's going on, Gab?
Not too much, guys. Long time no see.
That's right. Hey, Kenny says no tech problems today. Congratulations. Thanks, Kenny.
Yes.
And Bill Petrella says, hooray, the sports Gab. She's back. All right, so let's get right into it, because today on the show, we are going to kick it off with some Power Rank Monday, our favorite fictional athletes of all time, top three. Then we are going to bring on one of my favorite players for the Cleveland Indians, the Wild Thing, Mr. James Karinchak, stopping by to hang out on his off day before today's game. Super cool of him. Looking forward to that. We will chat with James here in a few minutes. Then we'll break down all the Cleveland headlines. They keep coming in. They keep coming in. Update on the Indians. Plesac sent home. Clevenger sent home. Apologies are coming in for at least one of them. Cavs trade rumors. We'll talk about that for about 20 seconds. And then we will hit you with a couple Would You Rathers and give you our bold predictions for this week. Mine came true, by the way, last week. Just throwing that out there. Do you remember what it was?
No, I don't.
That we would have a current Indians player on the show today.
Good call. Good
And-
call.
Way to speak that into existence.
That's
Good job, Dave.
right. That's right. All right, let's kick it off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, so today's guest, James Karinchak, he has taken on the Major League persona of Wild Thing in our hearts here. So in honor of him, we are going to power rank our top three fictional athletes of all time. I will kick it off with my number three. I'm going with Ricky Bobby.
Very nice.
Don't put
First, you're
that
last.
evil. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. to do with my hands. One of the greatest car movies of all time. Can't go wrong with a little Ricky Bobby. Is that an athlete for you, Chris? Does that make the list?
Oh yeah.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
All right.
NASCAR. That's all. All good. All good in my book.
Nice. My number 2, Willie Mays Hayes, Major League. One of the greatest scenes of all time. Him rolling up in his pajamas and sprinting to win the race. Chris, what is that the best sports movie of all time? It's up there.
Oh yeah,
It's up
It's
there.
definitely for me. Yeah, Major League is something special, and the fact that it's about the Indians and it was so just on point with the way the Indians teams were, just so bad. And then when we got good, we had players that were very much like the players on that team. You know?
Oh yeah.
You kind of Kenny Lofton as the Wesley Snipes, right? I mean, just down the roster, it was kind of cool. But which Willie Mays Hayes did you like better, Wesley Snipes or Omar Epps?
Oh, come on. Wesley Snipes. Are you serious? Was Omar
Both played him.
Yeah, that's
Both
true.
played
That's
him.
true.
Omar Epps had a good run on House after that,
Yes, straight
and
to-
is now currently the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Look, a lot alike. A lot alike.
And my number 1, Kenny Powers. Do you guys know Kenny Powers? HBO.
I don't know what this is.
You don't know Kenny Powers?
Wait,
Chris?
it sounds so familiar.
HBO, Eastbound and Down. I think that was the show.
Oh, very
Kenny
well done.
Powers with a perm mullet, throwing the heat. He was a pitcher. Fantastic series if you never saw it. Kenny Powers, my number 1. Chris, top 3 favorite fictional athletes.
Okay, mine's going to be kind of golf heavy here. My number 3,
Can't believe it.
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore. Now, actually, I take that back. I said this was going to be golf heavy, but I'm going to put him in as a hockey player. So we don't have enough hockey on this show.
Wow.
Yeah. He would want to go in as a hockey player on my list. And I will mention too, speaking of hockey, right now the Columbus Blue Jackets are winning in their first playoff round. That last round against the Maple Leafs was a play-in, so this is the first official playoff round for your Columbus Blue Jackets. So we are winning at the moment. Hopefully, I do not jinx them.
I knew there was a reason you said he was going into hockey just so you could talk a little Blue Jackets. Well done.
Had to crowbar in some Blue Jackets action. My number 2.
Good segue.
We'll go with Wild Thing. Just like our upcoming interview, Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn. I mean, he was just, first of all, so cool. And Charlie Sheen in those days was just so funny and so cool. But back before he kind of got weird.
Super
he's just
weird.
amazing. And that whole character, that whole persona was awesome of coming out of the clink to pitch for the Cleveland Indians as a closer. That's so great and just so on brand for us. So gotta love that character. Love Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, he got really weird.
A little bit. But he's our buddy now. He's coming back around. You know, he's talking to our relief pitchers, and he's part of the tribe.
Yeah, game 7 of the World Series. I was sitting at Harry Buffalo outside of the stadium. He pulls in a Hummerzine and starts giving everyone high fives. It was
Really?
incredible.
Oh, that's
We didn't tell his story.
Yeah, I think I
before.
remember that.
Yeah. So yeah, he came right up to us, gave us high fives, taking pictures of him. It was really, really cool.
What did he look like?
What was he
Like the
dressed
state
like?
of his being. Because I don't know. I read stuff and I'm like,
yeah.
how's this guy doing?
He was okay. I'm sure he was a little bit loaded, but he had his Wild Thing jersey on, untucked, and he was ready to party.
That a boy.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
just don't understand why he hasn't bought out like a whole section for cardboard cutouts right now. You know?
yeah.
Like a whole side of the stadium or something. You know, he used to do that, or he would just buy out sections in the outfield and try and get home run balls. And I think he was unsuccessful largely in most of those. Which makes it
that
kinda
might have something to do with it.
Maybe that's it. My number 1, Dave. Ty Webb. Do you guys know who Ty Webb is?
I would assume golf.
I don't.
From the best golfing movie ever, Caddyshack. Come on,
Oh,
you know who Ty Webb is?
Which one was Ty Webb? I've seen that movie 100 times. Is that Bill
I
Murray?
don't think characters.
It was not Bill Murray. It was Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase is, yeah. He was another one, kind of like Charlie Sheen. He was just really cool in the movie. You know, he was the golfer who didn't really care much about golf, didn't care much about his business, but he was really rich from his business, and he was really good at golf, and just kind of hung around the country club to ruffle the feathers of all the establishment people. So, great character, funny movie, and that episode part when he's in it with Bill Murray. It was totally unscripted, and it's
I
so
heard
great.
that.
Yeah, totally unscripted. And those two on screen together was just magical. But him as a character was awesome. And I would have gone with Bill Murray, which was Carl Spackler in there.
That's
but he wasn't really an athlete.
No,
right?
he wasn't.
He wasn't an athlete. I thought about that afterwards. Whereas at least you could say Ty Webb was a very good golfer.
You know what? I actually had Ed McCracken on my list, but Willie Mays Hayes took him off. Do you know Ed McCracken?
No.
Kingpin.
Oh yeah, okay.
Kingpin Bill Murray with the Rose bowling ball. Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
Like rewatched that thanks COVID like 2 months ago, and I forgot that is a very good movie.
Oh yeah, very underrated.
Yeah, it is. It is. I kind of laughed at it when it first came out. Thought this is a stupid movie, but it is a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, honorable mention, Big Ed McCracken. Gab, top 3 fictional characters. What do you got?
I went in a totally different direction than you guys. My number 3 is Mulan. I don't know if you cool cats are familiar.
No.
with your Disney classic.
The kids movie, the cartoon Mulan.
Yes. She basically becomes a man to she wants to save her dad, so she joins the war to fight, but she has to pretend she's a guy. But she's like crushing all these workouts and things, and be a man, you must be swift as a raging fire. I used to get so hyped watching this because she'd be kicking everybody's butt, and I'm like, you go, girl. And I just love the movie concept, so I looked up to Mulan. Good stuff.
I think you include these so you can sing the Disney songs live on air.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what she's doing.
Duh. The other 2 aren't Disney movies, but
all right, what do you got for number 2?
I probably know the whole Mulan soundtrack, so you're not wrong there. So yeah, that's my number 3. My number 2, believe it or not, I'm gonna say Harry Potter. This guy can handle a broomstick. You know, he's the man on the Quidditch field. So even though it's a hypothetical made-up sport, I was completely captivated watching the movie, and you have to be extremely agile and have really great eye-hand coordination, and he's got the moves. So Harry Potter, that swept me off my feet with his Nimbus 2000. I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about.
Never seen Harry Potter.
Kind of, yeah. I've watched it with the kids. Gab, I forgot. You haven't been on in a while. Your power ranks are always really out there. I like it.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
They gotta be.
Outside the box, way outside the box.
I've just got to be authentic to myself, and who I looked up to, who I really actually enjoyed in my movies. Now, the last one, my number 1, you guys can empathize with a little bit more, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to go Benny the Jet, but I was like, if it's my heart's telling me Squint Pelladors.
Yes.
Because I really enjoyed what he brought to the Sandlot and his quirky character. Yeah. You're killing me, Smalls. I love it. I liked his character. He was, not the best on the team, but always enjoyed watching that movie, so he makes my top number 1.
When Betty the Jet steals home, I almost always cry. Every time.
Almost.
Oh,
almost
yeah.
always.
Oh, yeah.
Almost cry.
It does give me... Me and my sister once looked up where the cast is now, and I think Benny the Jet is like a firefighter now.
Really?
No kidding. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Sandlot,
Fun fact.
definitely one of the greatest sports movies of all time. That and Major League. Top 3, I would say. Top 3.
Sandlot's a great one, too, to throw on with the kids.
Oh,
it's not totally too kids-ish movie. It's like got enough in there for the adults. Plus, it's a great summer movie. I mean, obviously, the middle of that is where they get to play the night game under the fireworks, and I just love that scene. But it's just a great summerish movie, gets you into the mood. I love The Sandlot.
I know, it's probably really depressing now to watch in a pandemic. I don't know. No, people can still get
Thanks for
together
bringing
and
us
do
down.
stuff. Sorry, I'm just saying that maybe they should make a remake, the Sandlot COVID edition, and just see what happens. Hamford.
Just 2-on-2.
That pool scene would just be totally wrecked.
That'd be amazing. Trying to kiss Wendy with the mask on. Pervert! There's a mask!
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, speaking of fantastic, that was Power Rank Monday. Well done, both of you. I say it's time to bring in our guest, James Karinchak, Wild Thing. They're playing a game tonight here in 2 hours, so let's check in with Mr. James Karinchak as we bring him on the line. Wrong one. All right, so on the line, we have our featured interview of the week. Cleveland Indians reliever, fan favorite, and Charlie Sheen's new favorite pitcher, the one and only Wild Thing, Mr. James Karinchak. James, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Excited to be on here.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for joining. First question right off the bat, how's it feel to have Charlie Sheen tweeting at you for this incredible start as Wild Thing?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty surreal. I mean, I never really expected that going into the year, but have it happen was pretty cool. I really just didn't expect it to happen, so I was kind of shocked.
So what was the progression that brought you to adopting Wild Thing as kind of your persona and your mantra here?
What do you mean, like adopting the persona?
I mean, like becoming Wild Thing, right? Everybody, you wearing 99 now, you're Wild Thing. Like, how did that transpire, or has it always been Wild Thing?
Well, my first year in, I think 2018, my first full year, I tried to get 99 in Low A in Lake County, but they didn't make jerseys that high. So I decided to get like number 35. But the way I pitch and like the way I show motion, that's been like pretty constant throughout my whole career, starting in little league or high school or anything. That's how I always pitched.
So James, the Indians obviously have had a lot of success with developing pitchers.
Our pitching coaches are all so approachable, and they all want to help you. So, I mean, every day in spring training or any day in the season, like they'll be watching you play catch play. How you feel? Like if you have like a good outing or a bad outing, they always ask like, how'd you feel? What were you feeling on the mound? And they'll bring a post game report. They'll show you how you're spinning your stuff. and if you're not liking how you're spinning it or how you felt that day, you'll go back and dissect some of your best video or your worst video. Just try to model yourself to be the best you can be. And they bring such knowledge and a love for the game. I mean, it's fun to be a part of.
That's awesome. So when you're out there dominating, you're striking out every batter. Last night, struck out 3 batters, not so bad in 1 inning. You're jacked up. You're pumped. You get the last out. What's it like looking into the crowd and seeing cardboard cutouts and just crickets?
Honestly, I'm just like used to it now. You know what I mean? I haven't seen fans in since March, so I'm kind of like,
yeah.
I don't know, I'm just kind of like used to it. So it's just like I kind of expect to be no noise and kind of expect to just run into the dugout and like shake my teammate's hand and expect there to be no roar when a guy hits the ball. So it's kind of like kind of immune to it now. But I mean, playing with fans is definitely way sicker, but there you go.
So do you ever get like the need to, you strike out that last guy, just look over the cardboard cutouts, try to pump them up, get the energy going?
Nah, I haven't done that yet.
Still time.
Yeah, still time.
So how's the fan noise been? Like, so they're pumping it in. Obviously, I would assume every stadium is a little bit different. Is that something you kind of gotten used to? Do you guys like the artificial noise out there? Or
yeah, it's cool to have some. It's definitely cool to have some noise. I mean, a dead silent stadium would definitely be like really odd. So there's some noise is like nice. It's like having like a fan when you go to sleep. You know what I mean? It's like there. Makes you feel like nice. So it's definitely not as good as the real thing, obviously, but it's better than nothing.
James, obviously you bring a lot of energy to your play. Do you ever, like, when do you turn it off? When do you turn it on? When do you turn it off?
I don't know. I would say I'm pretty high strung. My mom's like that too, so it's just like the wiry, high strung. I'm always like clicking my feet, or smacking my hands. So it's just like, I don't know. When I get out there, it's just real raw emotion. And, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun being out there with a great group of guys, and I love it.
So James, one of the things I love watching about you is you're out there ringing up batters. You throw the baseball up and down. You're getting pumped up out there. You talk to yourself a little bit. When I remember I was watching one of the games, you had a pitcher 0-2. You got him to pop out, routine pop fly, and you were just like yelling into your glove. I think you bit your glove. I got to know, what do you say to yourself in those kind of moments?
I'm just, like, if I got a guy 0-2, I think I was what's the guy's name?
I think it was Detroit, maybe.
No, it was a catcher for the Royals. What's his name?
Oh, okay.
Forgot his name, but I mean, he's a great hitter, and I didn't execute a pitch 0-2, and I was real upset with myself. Said some foul language in my glove.
Castellanos, when you were facing him and you were relieving for Bieber, I think you threw him like, gosh, I want to say like 10 curveballs in a row, and I saw you finally got him out. You ran back to Bieber. You guys were laughing a little bit. What's the mentality when you're switching up? Because you got some of the best stuff in the game. You got the curveball and the fastball. What's the mentality when you're going up against a hitter like that?
I mean, Castellanos is something special, man. I mean, he did some damage against us early, and I think when he was out there and Carl came out, he was like, "Don't get hurt by this guy." Like, everybody's telling me, like, "Don't get hurt by this guy." So it was just like, the Castellanos is that dude. So I mean, I had to be careful. And I made some pitches, and I was revved up. Beebs was pretty revved up too when I came back to the dugout. So it was a pretty cool moment.
So do you feel a difference when you're out there coming in for like the 8th inning as opposed to if you're coming into the 9th?
No, not really. It's just, again, it's like if it's a 3-2 lead and I gave up 2 runs in the 8th, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, obviously not a walk-off, but it's like, I feel to me it would be the same letdown. Just letting my team down. I mean, just trying to execute every day to help my team win. 8th and 9th, same thing.
So obviously there are a lot of differences this season versus last season and all around baseball. Is there anything different you're doing in terms of preparation since it's a shortened season like this? Is there a different way that you're looking at the season than what you normally would be if you were playing a full slate of games?
I won't say there's a different way of looking at it, but it's just like every game's so much more important. It's just like you can't if you lose like 7 games in a row. I mean, like it's like it's like over a 10th of the season this year. It's just like you're like wow, like you might be out of it if you have one bad week. Just like every day, bring like a really high intensive focus and like, all right, like bring it all today. Like we gotta win this every day. Just like every day is so important. It's like a college season this year, 60 games.
Is Tito or anybody else in management there kind of looking at your pitch count any differently this season than what he normally would?
I don't think so. I mean, no, they don't really tell us that. So just like
just go out there, do your job. Right?
Yeah, when your name gets called, like go execute.
Who do you look at when you're in the clubhouse? Who on this team do you look up to kind of as a mentor, if anybody? You've had a really strong early start, obviously. Who do you kind of lean on in that clubhouse?
The guy I look up to is definitely Brad Hand. When I came in last year, he's one of the guys I looked up to. I mean, just his career. I mean, he's 3-time All-Star. You guys been doing it for a while, and just so consistent every day. He comes to the clubhouse, good or bad, and he's the same guy every day. And he goes about his work great. And that's why he's been great for so long. So I mean, this guy that I model.
So I mean, your stats this year are incredible. 7 games, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts, ERA of 0. Yet you have an L in that loss column. We talk about it.
You had to bring that up. Oh, that's brutal, man.
It's complete BS. So James, I'm not a fan of the extra innings rule, although it did work out for you guys last night. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, each team has the same opportunity. So, I mean, it's the way it goes. I didn't execute a pitch against Mikel Franco. I think it was 1-2. I threw a hanging curveball, and he hit it pretty well in the center. So, I mean, it's my fault we lost that game. If I executed a pitch, I think we'd had an opportunity to win that game. And unfortunately, I didn't execute there. So, I mean, obviously it's a different rule, but I used to have to execute at a higher rate. And I didn't execute there. And unfortunately, it cost us the game.
Well, you haven't cost us many games, so don't be so hard on yourself.
You know, we have a really passionate, as you know, fan base here in Cleveland overall. Is there anything that you'd say to the fans, you know, who were watching each of these games, rooting for you every day? Is there some kind of a message that you like to send out to the fans?
I really appreciate you guys still watching the games. I know even though you can't come to the field, just your love and support is, you know, it's an honor. It's an honor to be wear the jersey, Cleveland jersey every day, and hopefully there's fans soon. I really do hope there's fans soon.
How about to Charlie Sheen? Is there anything in particular you want to say to him?
Thanks for reaching out, man.
That's got to be so cool, right?
Well, James, you know, we greatly appreciate your time. You know, stay safe in quarantine. I hope all is well. We're looking. It's kind of nice you finally have an off day in this shortened season, and you're spending it with us. So we greatly appreciate that, and I know the Cleveland fans do as well.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Hey, on behalf of Cleveland fans too, make sure you have DoorDash or something on your phone. Okay.
James, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. All right, so that was James Karinchak. Round of applause for the man. Fantastic stuff out of him. I think that Chris, I think my favorite part about that was when you asked him about Wild Thing, and he's like, I didn't adapt that. Like, that's what I've been my entire life. Charlie Sheen adapted that from me. You're on mute, Chris. Turn your mic up, man. Come on.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back.
And better than
Yeah, I didn't think that type of a question was going to elicit that type of a response, to be honest with you. I thought that was kind of, you know, a playing nice type of question, kind of right in his wheelhouse, on brand. He could talk about Wild Thing. I didn't think he'd kind of take mild offense to it. So.
I loved it. I loved it. He's been Wild Thing forever. That's so funny. James, appreciate your time. Good luck tonight. Hopefully you're pitching the 8th or 9th and we get another W. So we shall see. The Cubs, hopefully we don't have any rain. Wouldn't want a rain delay.
Would you stop bringing that up?
Ouch.
I only do it just to it helps
to troll
me.
ourselves?
It helps me with my emotions of dealing with. I'll cry after this, don't worry. All right, let's move on to some Cleveland headlines.
Dave, you know where there's never a rain delay?
Where's that?
The Cleveland Clothing Company, because they're always coming out with great new designs to represent our sports teams as well as our city. And right now, check out their Cleveland Collage t-shirts, which feature tons and tons of landmarks and highlights of the city, including the West Side Market, the Flats, Little Italy, and much, much more. And as Dave mentioned last week, they also have their line of Vacation in Cleveland, which I kind of did last week. Tank tops and tees, which are perfect for the summertime. Be sure to visit any of their locations, like downtown on East 4th, the Summit Mall in Akron, in Shaker Heights, or by the Big Play Studios right here in Crocker Park. And if you shop on their website at clevelandclothingco.com, remember to use our promo code. I almost made it.
Almost made it.
So close. That promo code is BigPlay20. Get 20% off your purchases, folks.
Well done, Chris. Well done. Fourth quarter, and
Strong finish.
Fell apart.
Ouch.
All right, so
I need a closer. I need Karinchak up here.
That's right. Hopefully he's the closer soon. Although, you know what? I did like his comments on Brad Hand. Yeah. We asked the role model, Brad Hand. That was a great answer. And, you know, someone
Instantly,
who could
too.
be
Instantly.
Yeah.
We
could
asked
be
him who the
gunning for your
mentor
job.
was. It was like he
Yeah.
didn't even skip a beat.
Yep.
Brad Hand. So
That's
Brad
right.
Hand moved up a little bit in my book on that one.
That's right. All right, so the Indians are 5-1 since our last show, including that game we were just talking about, that extra inning win after the rain delay. We talked about it with Karinchak. He was kind of down on himself about that loss that I brought up, but come on, man, your stats are looking pretty good. Chris, thoughts on the extra innings rule now that we're 1-1?
You know, I think I would like the rule more if it was in a standard season, to be honest with you.
More-
it's just
more
these
data.
games. These games mean so much right now.
Yeah.
You know, each game is worth 3.7 or whatever it is, 2.7, and it's like, yeah, I just don't like it decided by a gimmick. Whereas if we had the longer season, I'm kind of with you. We've had this discussion where it's like, I need to get to bed. I need to work. At the same time, I like to watch the Indians. So I'll stay up and half falling asleep, watch these darn games.
Yeah.
And it just kills me for work the next day. So that part of it is nice with the guys starting on second, but I don't like it in the short season.
Yeah. Gab, what are your thoughts on this? We didn't talk to you last week. Extra inning
That
rule.
was some pretty rational insight right there, Chris. I didn't even think about that. Well, when it first came out, I was like, okay, obviously this is not traditional, and everyone was kind of bellyaching about it at first. And obviously when we first saw the effects of it, we were on the losing side of the fence. But my first reaction when they implemented the rule was just kind of like, well, it's going to be the same for everybody. So I'm sure it'll, pan out to our advantage at some point. And obviously we saw that. So I was kind of indifferent to it at first because I was like, all right, well, they already made the rules. So let's just accept it and do our thing. But yeah, I didn't even think about, it's true, Chris, everything matters a little bit more right now. So I guess it is kind of a funny head start type deal because some of it does seem a little too easy and cheap, but then again, like I said, I mean, it'll be the same for everybody. So
typical athlete take. That's what you got there. That's typical. It's like, it's the same for everybody. I'm just going to go out and compete and beat everybody, no matter what the rules are. I love that.
it is.
I'm
It
not
is.
concerned. I'm not concerned about the next week. I'm just one game at a time.
One game
one
at a
extra
time.
inning at a time.
One game at a time. I'm just out here trying to help my teammates do the next best thing. It's a game of inches,
Yeah, we're gonna have to interview you next time. You could just give all those cliche all those cliche
all the
answers.
cliche answers.
Yeah. All right. So the internet has been pretty wild over the last 24 hours. A lot of shots taken, rightfully so, at a couple of our pitchers. So Zach Plesac sent home by the Tribe after violating the team rules in Chicago. Today we find out Clevenger also broke the rules, but nobody knew because he sat through the team meeting. He rode the team plane home with his team, including Carlos Carrasco, in that recycled air. And he went out Saturday night in Chicago instead of staying with his team in the hotel like you're supposed to do as a professional baseball player. Chris, what should the Indians do with these two?
Suspend him for a while. Plesac, at least today, did come out on Instagram and kind of gave us a little bit of an apology. It wasn't the best apology in the world. It was kind of generalized and could have applied at any time during this whole COVID thing. But okay, it's an effort. Clevenger, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be remorseful at all, it seems at this point. From everything I've seen on social, from everything that I've heard, it sounds like Clevenger thinks that Clevenger did nothing wrong. So that's a problem. A 29-year-old Clevenger who's worth something, as we get closer to this trade deadline, that becomes an asset. I mean, I would love to win now, right? And I think Clevenger's a big piece of that. Obviously, we've got a great starting pitching staff. He's a big part of that. But, if there is the right offer on the table and we have a chance to move him, this is kind of like, and you were saying this earlier, Gab, this is kind of his moment of throwing the ball over the wall, like last year with Bauer. Like this is the moment where it's like, okay, all right, you know what? Maybe this is a guy who we're not counting on in this organization for much longer.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And Chris, we were talking about this off air. He's 29.
Yeah,
At
it's older than I
29.
thought. I thought he was younger than that, to be honest with you. I know he's been with the organization for a while, but I still think of him as a young guy. Maybe it's part of his persona. Once again, I don't know if I know that I'm not allowed to ask Clevenger about his persona, but of kind of the youthful long hair, all that. Maybe that's what makes me think of him as a little bit younger. But for a baseball player, he's getting up there, so he doesn't have a whole lot left potentially. And that's not the type of guy who we're going to sit back and pay. So maybe this is more momentum for him being out of town. Although, once again, I don't want to see him go. I want to see us win this year. But if it happens, it happens. We got to get assets for him.
Very true. Very true. I mean, obviously, Plesac had a very good start to this year. 1.29 ERA, 24 Ks, 21 innings. His apology
plus
Instagram,
8 hours in the car by himself.
And I was going to ask Karinchak if it was a teal Prius they sent him home in, but we let him go. So Plesac said this on Instagram, paraphrasing here, but he said the lesson learned is this: the most important thing we can do is take care of each other, putting others first, and having the character to understand why there is a greater impact if we are all selfless. Young kid made a mistake. I think he'll bounce back, but man. Those two, that's rough. That's a rough look for our Cleveland Indians, but we're moving forward. They're definitely taking their licks on the internet.
If nobody else in baseball can stop our starting staff, maybe a pizza joint or a bar in Chicago can. Taking out 2 of them in one trip.
Abe Froman.
Bad man.
That's right. All right, so rumors have been swirling about the Cleveland Cavaliers possibly trading for Ben Simmons. Don't really care about this all that much, but 24 years old, 2-time All-Star. 76ers won a whole lot for him. Is there any trade that you would make, Gab? Would you like Ben Simmons on the Cleveland Cavaliers if you had to give up some of the young pieces here?
Now, maybe I haven't done enough homework on Simmons, but I feel like he's not that big of an asset. He seems a little injury prone, and I feel like he's not that great of a shooter. I don't know. I feel like we have Larry Nance Jr., who's very versatile, and then we have Sexton's a good combo guard. I don't know. I don't think there's a collection that I would trade for him in particular. I could be wrong. I don't know. I just wasn't wowed by him.
No, you're not wrong. I am not trading for a guy who shoots a worse 3-point percentage than Andre Drummond.
Oh, could you imagine him, Andre Drummond, and Tristan Thompson, the new Splash Brothers from 3? Oh, my God. We've already got those 2 chucking up threes for no apparent reason. Now we'll add a third to the mix.
Yeah, just keep that 0.8% 3-point going. Why the heck not? Bring Beeline back for it. Why not?
Heck yeah. He'll get those slugs going.
Oh, my God. That's enough. That's enough, Cavs. All right, let's move on to something we haven't talked about in a very long time. UFC.
Blue Jackets.
No. UFC.
Oh, Blue Jackets.
UFC. Stipe Miocic is fighting for the title, defending his title this weekend. Rubber match, the trifecta versus DC, Daniel Cormier. Cormier knocked out Stipe with a very, very lucky punch. They were in way too close last time around. He got caught, got knocked out. So that was back in 2019 to where Cormier got his belt back. And then, obviously, Stipe comes back, wins the belt again, dominates Cormier last time. So we get the rubber match here. Chris, any predictions for Stipe, our hometown fireman, in probably his last fight ever?
Oh, Stipe, easy. He just rolls. You know how much I know about this stuff. But he's the hometown guy, so I'm going to go 100% Stipe.
Remember when we had Charles Conwell on, the Olympic boxer?
Yeah,
and he's like,
he was fun.
He's like, just go with the home team. He's like, I don't know anything about it. Just go with the home team.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But it's great, Yeah. Another time that Cleveland's up on the national stage with Stipe fighting. I think it's great, and wish him well, man.
Yeah, one of the greatest athletes in Cleveland of all time.
Yeah.
Gab, you gonna watch this fight?
I don't know if I know somebody that can have access to it because I don't have TV, so I always end up mooching.
Wait, you don't have a TV at
Gab doesn't
all,
have
or you don't
TV.
have cable?
No, I don't have cable. I
Okay.
stream so much,
Yeah.
which I mean, or I just do like the Netflix situation. I don't watch a ton of TV. Twitter has all I need to know usually, so.
That's very true. So you got Stipe. He's 19-3,
But
and we've got.
But yeah,
Daniel-
I'd like to
yeah.
see Stipe obviously go out on top, especially because this is like just the perfect setup, and what a great, I don't know, way to go out, obviously. And he seemed like, I didn't get to watch the last one as it was happening, but I was also pretty impressed by that fourth round and how he kind of changed up his approach. And I mean, obviously he's a smart fighter. I'm interested now. I think I'm more interested now than I was before, obviously coming in at the tail end here, but I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, one of the greatest.
Yeah, breaking it down
Yeah, that was
round by round.
Chris is taking notes right there.
I
like that.
am.
Well, the only reason I know that is because he did something a little different with the body shots. Instead of trying to go for the head and KO,
Yeah.
he switched up his approach and then wore him down. And, I think because it was unique, that's the only reason I took note. But we'll see what happens this time. I mean, this guy probably already is prepared for that. I don't know. Like, I can't even predict this stuff. I have no idea. That's why I'm interested.
Yeah, so Cormier, one of the best things about him, I mean, he's very short and stout, and for Stipe fights, he packs on the pound. So the night before is one of the greatest ones because you get to see him weigh in. You're like, oh my God, what has he been doing in quarantine? But this is going to be a good fight. Stipe, if he keeps his distance, uses the jab, and kind of hits that big old body of Cormier, I think he's going to retain the title and bring it back to Cleveland. And hopefully we can have him on the show and bring by the belts because that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
We are at the end of regulation. Blue Jackets 2, Tampa Bay Lightning 2.
All right.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh, going into an extra period. Here we go, playoff hockey.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
And we transition.
I hope we do have Stipe on, though.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
We'll transition from
After he
playoff
wins,
hockey
that's
to the MAC, Chris. Because
Nice.
the MAC already announced postponing to the spring. Power 5, they've been discussing. Big 10, nope, to the spring. We've, I guess, I don't know. Chris, what do you think about this? Can spring ball work? There's been a lot of thoughts on it today.
Well, the Big Ten is banking on that because the Big Ten officially said that they're done for the fall, right?
Yeah.
From everything that I saw, that was one of my DM insiders was correct. He sent me 30 minutes beforehand. He said, hey, listen, the Big Ten is going to officially announce at 3:00 that they're done. And the Ohio State players are going to find out in a room. And I was like, okay. And I sent that out. And sure enough, he was right. The players were all gathered together and told it. And so apparently there's a mole inside the Ohio State Woody Hayes Center there who's a good feed for me. So hopefully he stays on and doesn't get fired for some reason. He can continue to give me all this gold because most of my DM insiders are not so good.
We got Tom in the comment section on Twitter. What's up, Tom? He goes, oh, I thought it was Monday for a second. Phew.
Yeah,
I like that I like Tom. I like that you keep track of time by our show. That's fantastic. We appreciate the support, Chris.
So
what
don't you get the feeling
what's
that
that?
this thing's going to start falling apart as you go into spring? Well, okay. So right now you've got a pause button, a big time pause button.
Yep.
You're saying you're not going to play this in the fall. So you're hoping for the spring. But as we get closer to spring, you'd think, okay, things are going to get better. Now, they will probably on the COVID front. We're all hoping so. Maybe
Sure.
a vaccine comes along. All that stuff's going to be fine. But then from a player standpoint, I can't imagine that these guys are going to want to play in the spring if we're going to have the draft there. They're going to start looking at football starting up for the NFL and getting into an NFL career and getting away from college. And, there's just so many of those variables that I think this thing starts to fall apart then. So as much as you say, oh, we can just bump it, I don't think it's that easy. I really don't think it's that easy. And especially you've also got a bunch of other sports that start up in the spring. Everything starts up in the spring. So just layering this in there is not, even for as powerful of an asset as college football is, it's not that easy just to layer it in there.
So we'll see how this all kind of plays out, but I believe that the SEC and some of these power teams are talking about like a super conference to have some type of football Chris, what are the chances?
I'm surprised the SEC isn't just saying screw it. We're
They
going to play,
kind of
and
are.
we're going to declare a national champion.
they-
if no one else wants to play, and Alabama wins the SEC, guess what? You got a national champion.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
Chris, if they do this and they do invite these outside teams, what are the chances that our Miami Redhawks get the invite?
100%.
100%.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're a power team. Power team down there in Oxford. Come on now.
Had to get some of that in. You got your NHL, and I got my Miami Redhawks in.
God
Let's
bless
move
you.
on to some Would You Rathers. All right, let's ask our resident athlete, Gab. Would you rather? So if you're a surefire draft pick and the NCAA decides to play football in the spring, would you rather play the season in the spring, or would you opt out, stay healthy, and get ready for the NFL draft?
Question
I
for
mean,
me? No, yeah.
I would definitely opt out and probably prepare for the draft if I'm a surefire pick. I'm being rational. I don't know if it was truly me. I feel like depending on how far I had gotten in college and how bad I want a degree and how much that means to me, because I would be taking the full holistic approach to being a student athlete. But I am that's the female me talking, and that has no concept of what it's like to be a surefire first round draft pick. So my instincts tell me, yeah, I would definitely just like try to stay healthy for the draft, probably.
I like how that was the female you as opposed to the male
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yes.
I had to, have my gendered responses.
There you go. Nice. All right, Chris, I know you talked about this earlier, but would you rather keep Clevenger or move on from him?
I'd rather keep him. I mean, honestly, I think we've got a window here. If the Indians can continue to play the way they are in a short season with the pitching staff we have, if COVID doesn't shut this thing down, the Indians are going to be right there. And I'd like to take advantage of it. Even if this season is at the end looked at, it's a big asterisk. I don't care. Go for it. And go for it right now. If we fall off for some reason, just totally fall on our face before the trade deadline here in 20 days or whatever else, then trade them. Otherwise, let's go. Let's put the pedal down. Let's see what we can do.
All right, Gab, I got one for you. Kevin Stefanski said he went out to Austin in February to meet with Baker Mayfield. Would you rather have a sleepover with Baker Mayfield or OBJ? Or another,
Okay, so
or
I have
another
to
Cleveland
take another
athlete?
gendered approach here.
Yeah, I was going to say this could
I
be a
would
little
have to say
awkward.
This is a married person, so I'm gonna pretend I'm
A dude.
Gabriel, male version again.
Gabriel.
Probably
pretend you guys
OBJ
are like
just
5.
based on tattoos. What was it?
I said just pretend like you're all 5 years old.
Okay, right.
Sleepover.
That's a good question. I just want
The
every
teasers we
backstory
could
on-
have for this one, Dave, could go on for days.
I want every backstory on OBJ's tattoos because they're wild. So I think that would be the most interesting sleepover, like getting a whole rundown on that work of art.
Wow.
I don't think that's the first thing anyone else would have thought of.
No.
But
No, way to pull that out. Well done.
maybe Baker's sleepover would be like, okay, it'd be the sleepover about so what really went down at the Cheesecake Factory. That would be like
Wow.
that
Just
would
when
be
I
all
thought
the
she was
secret-
kind of bringing it back. No, she goes Cheesecake Factory on it.
Hey, Baker, let's dish.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fantastic.
Well, you said sleepover. I feel like the context for that is like, okay, we're gonna tell me all your secrets. You know,
Gonna get in your jammies and tell secrets, truth or dare, that sort of thing.
correct. It wasn't like an X's and O's situation.
Who would
you know?
win in a pillow fight, OBJ or Baker?
That's a good question. OBJ man, all the way.
Love it.
Gab, could you hold your own?
Not a chance.
No.
Bold prediction time.
if I get to pick to be a player.
Yeah.
Bold prediction.
All right, bold prediction on this Tuesday as we are about an hour away from some tribe action. I am going to say next Monday night we are going to have on another current Indians player.
Wow.
I'm
Are we going
I'm
to
doubling
screw up
down.
the interview this time and have it on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday? Or are we going to actually have a live show on Monday with a player?
Chris, bold prediction.
My bold prediction, Dave, is your Columbus Blue Jackets are going to win, baby. We're going to win today. We're in extras right now. We're in an extra period. It's 2-2 against the Lightning. We're looking for, our fifth straight victory in the playoffs?
Wow.
Over the Lightning. Let's get it done, boys.
Love it. Gab, bold prediction for the week.
I think the Indians are going to start a 4-game win streak right here.
Ooh.
Nice.
Right here, right now. Let's get it. That was just my excuse to get a little song in.
I love it. All right, thanks for tuning in to the Big Play Reflux Show. We will see you next Monday night, 9 p.m. live. We won't mess it up this time. Thanks for
Monday
everyone
night.
for sticking around with us an extra day on your drive home. Hopefully you weren't watching in the car, but we'll see you next week. Huge shout out to James Karinchak. Good luck tonight pitching. Keep that streak going, crushing all these guys. And thanks for 17 days in a row. I think they were kind of busy. His one off day spent with us. That was awesome. And huge shout out to Shaq News. Appreciate you as always through the technical difficulties. So we will see you guys next Monday at 9 p.m. Have a great week.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Free Shakalaka.